Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here as I hit live in all the places. So give me just a moment while I do that. All right. And why is this the heck? I'm not sure what is going on here. So give me just a moment. Hmm. Oh, I think I know what happened. All right. Well, all right. I'm just going to keep going. I don't think I'm live in all the places that I need to be live, but we'll just go with it anyway. And I'll just share the recording. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to see you here. And like I said, go ahead and put hello or say hello, say something in the comments and let me know that you're here. And I appreciate you, every one of you, for showing up. And even if you're here for the replay, just put hashtag replay, because I just love knowing who actually gets in here and takes advantage of all the info. So today I want to talk about something that I think almost everyone has lived through. Everyone. You finally get traction, things are working. That could be a relationship. Maybe it's a goal you set for yourself. Or maybe you're even in a season of your life that feels like this feels good. It starts clicking into place and you can feel it building. And then at that exact moment, it kind of stops. Not gradually and not from an obvious mistake. It just seems to just stall. Ever felt that? And then you're left wondering what happened, because nothing on the outside really changed. So, what I want to tell you is what I believe is actually happening in that moment, because it's not bad luck at all. Here's what I've seen over and over in the people I work with. Right at the edge of real progress, something inside gets triggered. You pull back, or you freeze, or suddenly you're just busy with everything except the thing that was actually working. Can you feel that? and it kind of feels like self-sabotage from the outside, but it's not random and it's not a weakness. And we've talked about this before. It's actually a belief that was planted in you a long time ago, long before this season of your life ever existed. And that belief is protecting you from something it thinks is dangerous. It thinks you might not survive. Maybe that's being seen, or outgrowing someone you love or care for. Or even it could be that you may have more than was ever modeled for you growing up. There might be a fear of becoming someone your family or your younger self wouldn't recognize. So our amazing system does what it was built to do. It pulls you back to safety. And remember, we've talked about this before. Your subconscious mind does not think safety is safe. It doesn't think safety is happy. It's not prosperous. It's not any of those things. Safety is all about what you've survived previously. So no matter how horrible things were that you survived, your brain thinks that's okay and that's safe. And it's not because you're flawed. It's because something in you a long time ago decided that this is as far as safety gets. Anything beyond that, sabotage. And this shows up everywhere. In your relationships, your health, think about that. Your creative work, all of it. But I want to give you one example that's easy to actually see. And that's something that we all deal with, money. Because it's measurable, you can point to an actual number. And I would say everyone deals with money in some way, even if you don't deal with relationships or health or creative work the same way someone else might, right? Money is the most common thing we have together, right? So think about your own income. Has it ever felt like there's a ceiling or maybe a number you keep landing on or near, no matter how hard you work or how much opportunity comes your way? Have you? That ceiling isn't random at all. It's the exact same mechanism we're talking about. Somewhere, a belief got formed about how much is safe to have. And your income will find its way back to that ceiling every single time until the belief underneath changes. And that is why 90, maybe it's even more than 90% of lottery winners end up worse off financially than they were before they ever got their money, regardless of how much they get. Even people that may have had a lot of money and won, it still stretches them beyond, oh, thank you. It still stretches you beyond what you've done before and what you feel is your number. Now, we don't logically say, well, I've been making $150,000 for this many years. I don't need more. We don't logically think that. But set another goal for $200,000 a year or $250,000 a year, and you can work your ass off. But if you haven't changed your belief of what you can do and your belief of what you deserve and what's safe, you might get past your 150, but things will happen to make you lose that money. You'll invest incorrectly. You'll meet someone who steals from you. There'll all these things that'll happen that will take that money from you just because your subconscious mind doesn't feel it's safe. And I know sometimes it sounds like, well, how could my subconscious mind just bring somebody to me that's going to take my money? Well, it happens all the time. Good things and bad things. You draw things to you from your beliefs. Remember, we've talked about the fact that there's 50 billion bits of information that come to us per second, right? And only 2,000 of those bits actually get inside. we don't see all the others. And that goes for anything. So when your 2000 bits are keeping you at a certain level, it's not going to let you see the people that will help you, the things that will push you further. It's going to find the people who will hold you back. Sad, but true. And that is why two people can work equally hard and end up at completely different numbers. And if you think about it, if hard work created financial wealth, the ditch diggers would be millionaires, right? It's not the hard work that does it. It's not the effort you put in. It's the belief. It's the ceiling. And here's the part that matters most. You cannot think your way past this. Remember, this is your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the willpower. It's the new plan. It's the trying harder. And that works to a certain degree, but your subconscious mind is going to take over, and none of that touches the root or the subconscious mind. You can only fix that at the root. So you have to go back to where that belief was formed and change what it's protecting you from, change what it means. And once that belief is no longer running the show, life doesn't stall there anymore. There's nothing left pulling you back. And you know, one of the things that there's a story that I have, and I'm trying to make sure I articulate it well. But there used to be a time where I wasn't making a lot of money. And so for me, it was a stretch to go on a vacation and pay $75 for a room at a hotel. And $75 sounded big. It sounded really big. And then as my income changed, so did my belief. And I was working on this root stuff during the whole process. And it became where when it was $150 for a room, it didn't feel like a stretch. It felt normal. And then as I kept progressing and I kept changing and my set point changed, then a $200 a night room or a $250 a night room didn't feel like a stretch. It felt like a normal thing. And so I'm just using that as numbers. That is when you change your underlying belief about things, your set point changes. So what feels normal goes up. And that can be not only around money, that can be relationships, what you feel like you deserve in a relationship, what you feel like you deserve in business. It all is connected. Change one thing and it changes everything, right? So I want you to think about the last time things were really going well for you in any part of your life, and then it stopped. Now think about it. When it stopped, what were you afraid might happen if it kept going? And the thing is that a lot of times it's so underneath the surface, we're not sure because it just feels like things stopped. And that's maybe what you're experiencing right now. Maybe you don't know, and that's okay, because of most of the things that are going on that are creating these set points in all these areas of our life are so deep and under the surface that we're not even aware they're there. And that's why they rule what's going on. So I would invite you to maybe do a little bit of journaling and different things to try to get underneath. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me, and it may be something that we can work to uncover together. But if you did this and something showed up for you, just notice what it is. And that's a thread of what's going on, but it's not the root. And it's not something you have to live with forever. It can be found and it can be changed. Now, what I want to do is go ahead and give you something to work on this week. Okay. Now, affirmations all by themselves do not work if you have this conflict in you about it. So I'm trying to create this affirmation and journal prompt in a way that allows you to just kind of slide in underneath the radar so that your subconscious mind doesn't say, wait, that's not true. So here's our affirmation. It's safe for me to keep growing. I'm allowed to have more than what was modeled for me, and my success does not cost me the people I love. What do you think? And then the journal prompt. Think of a time. Let me see if I can. Get the affirmation in the journal prompt and put it up here for you. Okay, here we go. Copy. Okay, here's the affirmation. It's in the comments. And then let me be really quick. Go to the journal prompt. And that way you can grab it and utilize it. Okay. All right. So there we are. Get back to, there we go. Oh, it should say, is it really yours? It kind of cut off there. So I apologize for that. All right. So let's get back over here. So the journal prompt is, think of a time things were going well and then stalled. And then write about what you were afraid might happen if it kept going. And then ask yourself, whose voice does that fear sound like? Is it really yours? And the thing that is important, we can consciously try to figure out this, and we can only do so much because our conscious mind is not privy to all the stuff underneath. But your subconscious mind is. And so what I recommend is that you set a timer and you get quiet. You've already written down the affirmation in the journal prompt. Your subconscious mind and your conscious mind know what it is. You don't have to be saying it in your mind. It's already there. And then when you set the timer for 10 to 15 minutes, you just, tap into the silence. And sometimes that's not easy because our mind just starts going all over the place. If I don't have time to do this and I need to go do this. So the way you do it is you just kind of reel it in a little bit and you focus on something, like you focus on your breath. You can count your breaths. You can say to yourself, breathe in, breathe out, relax, breathe in, breathe out. And then if that's not doing it, then you can actually, one of the things that helps me is that I will focus on the sounds in my space, right? So I would close my eyes with my timer closed, and then I would be able to listen and hear sounds. And so I would label them. So like I can hear the fan that's blowing. I can hear the hum from my computer. I've got someone doing some work outside on the deck, and I can hear them out there scraping paint and stuff. So you can just focus on the sounds that you hear. And if you don't really hear a lot of sounds, Focus on sensations, how warm the room is, because the thing is, your brain, your subconscious mind cannot be thinking about two things at one time. So doing this kind of quiets it down just enough that you can actually hear what's going on. And you'll be able to tap into the underneath. And, this is something that I help people with all the time. So if it's something you need help with, just reach out. But this is a good start to go ahead and sit with it and just be quiet. It allows that God voice, that intuition to come through. And so when the timer goes off, that's when you're going to pick up your pen and you're going to just brain dump anything that shows up, And most of the time, especially in the beginning, it feels like it's nothing. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You write it down anyway, because our brain does not always talk in regular sentences. It doesn't say, okay, go over here and do this. No, that's not what it does. It will just all of a sudden say, maybe let's go to the store. Let's do this. And it's not something you even thought of. And then you do. And that's where the magic happens. It's like you meet someone, you go on a path differently than what you used to, and your intuition guided you past something or to something else. And when we can tap into this inner guidance, we start seeing things better. So it changes our 2,000 bits of information to be information that is more guiding and leading us. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So sit with the affirmations this week and the journal prompt when you've got the time, and make time. And know this, the stall, the putting the brakes on was never proof that you'd reached your limit about anything. It was just proof that something needed to be looked at. And that's what we're doing here today. All right. So I hope this was helpful. And I would love for you to leave a comment and share some thoughts. If this is something that's actually shown up in your life, I would love to know about it. I will come back and look at the comments and then just share. I would love to know that this has helped you or given you a direction to go in. And if not, I'd like to know that too. All right. Have a blessed week, and I will see you next Monday, once again at 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you set your time and be ready, because I'll be there. And life is delicious. So let's keep this thing going. Mwah. Love you guys.